Wooden sidewalks and dusty streets soon became concrete and brick. The lamplighter was replaced with electric lighting as the town began to move to the 20th century. In rural northwest Pennsylvania in the late 1870s, workers and farmers were taking pride in their work, products, and in their animals. Women were canning and sewing and baking and taking pride in what they had created for their families. The first fair of record was conducted by the French Creek Valley Agricultural Society in September of 1877. Membership of the society consisted of people from Crawford, Mercer, and Venango counties. It was held on a 22-acre lot off of the present-day North Street. The land was leased from John Bell for $10 per acre per year that could be extended to 20 years. The Agricultural Society evidently depended on rentals from vendors, since in the contract they insisted that Bell agree not to use his adjacent land for eating houses, drinking saloons, tents, or buildings for shows or other amusements or entertainment during the week of the fair. The group would continue to operate celebrations each fall until 1890. The description of the fairgrounds featured a half-mile oval racetrack, and the midways were defined by plank walkways. It had a 2-story main exhibition building, and there was facilities for housing livestock and an entrance gate with a ticket booth. An admission charge of 25 cents for adults and 10 cents for children provided access to all the attractions at that time. In the town itself, the Schaefer House made plans to feed 500 people a day. A. Monan's and Bob Pagan's restaurant were filled to capacity. T. Presley Moore built a dining hall and an eating house on the fairgrounds. Catering to large crowds, the local restaurants moved tables, silverware, and dishes to the grounds to feed the multitude of visitors. Local householders took in boarders. Entertainment ranged from shooting contests, horse racing, brass band concerts, baseball games, and exhibits of fruit, vegetables, and handicrafts. The main focus was placed on the showing of the finest livestock in the region, with the blue ribbon and bragging rights going to the annual winner. In 1891, the name of the organization changed to the Cochranton Agricultural Society. At that time, special trains had reduced fares and brought spectators to Cochranton, and it was said that the walk from the railroad station to the fairgrounds only took 4 minutes. The fair of 1896 had an admission of 25 cents. Today, it would be $9.57. 15 cents for children, and it would cost today $5.74 to get in. Its 3-day receipts was $3,000 back then. Equated today, $114,808.93. I think they were doing okay. Popularity grew, bringing visitors on special train excursions to enjoy special attractions. Because of the Wild West having having a big influence on us on how we perceive things. Some of the special attractions were like Montana Bill's Wild West Show. The exhibition building's main floor highlighted the most recent industrial innovations of the day, and the second floor held the expanding numbers of local entries looking for blue ribbons. The spring floods, which happened often on Little Sugar Creek, continued to damage the fairgrounds, making it necessary to replace plank walks and repair damage to the grounds itself. This led to the suspension of the fair around the turn of the century. In 1916, the Borough Council organized an Old Home Days event, which featured a parade and other activities, but it was not continued the following year. The present fair can trace its early beginnings to 1928. Although there is some uncertainty over the exact date it was officially incorporated. Organized by the Cochranton School District and the Cochranton Businessman Association, it was held on the school grounds, located now at the corner, where it was located on the corner of Smith and Pine Streets, the present location of the Presbyterian Church's parking lot and picnic shelter, as well as the public library. It was set in mid-September. A 3-day event began on Thursday with exhibits and a garden produce filling the school's gymnasium. Games and contests were held for local students as well as the rural scholars attending the 13 one-room schools in the local townships. Saturday concluded with the community luncheon that was served in the United Presbyterian Church, with the proceeds going to fund school projects. In 1930, the expanding school fair had evolved into a community fair with a new name of Cochranton Community Fair. Outgrowing the school grounds, they found a new location on the property that contained the town's baseball field, which is located on Walnut Street and north of Pearl Street. It was a lodge lot that allowed for expansion, and that is where we are at this time. The 3-day community fair continued to feature school events and added attractions for the general public. The newest feature was a parade held on Friday afternoon. This featured floats from the school groups, participation from the local businessmen, and contained a cavalcade of livestock parading through the borough streets for the fair. The luncheon remained at the school, at the church, as the school targeted the funds toward improvements of the school library. Some of the featured events of the period included chicken and hog calling contest, horse and pony pulling, and a motion picture. So the Irish Theater was here on Saturday evening. Now, despite the upheaval caused by World War II, the interest in the fair continued to increase, and by 1943, it had expanded to 4 days. The entertainment draws included a baseball game, concerts performed by the Cochranton Fire Department Band, and expansion of the Midway to include mechanical rides and carnival elements. The livestock competition was now judged by the local Future Farmers Association. A horse show filled Sunday afternoon slot, and a pulling competition was held for the draft horses found in many of the local farms. Special classes were added to the exhibition building, and there were cash prizes awarded to the best victory garden and canning displays. Following the war, the 1946 fair concluded with fireworks to celebrate the world once more at peace. At this time, the only food concession stand on the grounds was operated by the Cochranton Grange, and in 1949, operating from the fireman's stand, they contributed 50% of their profit back to the Fair Association. The era of the 50s added more changes to the community event. There was tractor driving contest, amateur talent contest, and the annual school ox roast was added to the program. The school classes now operated fundraising booths. Chicken and hog calling returned as contests, and there was also a potato peeling contest. The Cochranton High School Band conducted a concert each year, and fireworks closed out the fair each Saturday evening. Following the community's centennial celebration in 1955, the fair parade shifted to Saturday afternoon with a pep parade in the morning. A new event opened at the fair in 1958. The first Miss Cochranton pageant was held at the high school, with Miss Carolyn Williams being crowned by the fair president, Cubby Dunn. The 60s would see the fairgrounds swell, with more local and civic community organizations operating concessions during the fair week. Local businesses opened product exhibits, and the attractions and the events would run long into the evening. The 1970s brought the first garden tractor pull, and the pageant would then be operated by the local J.C.'s organization. The biggest change would occur in 1973. The 45th annual fair was set for August 8th through the 11th. With the school not in session, the participation of the school groups began to fade. Entertainment groups became popular draws along with full-size tractor pulls. The fair moved to 5 days in 1978, and on the 50th anniversary, the Miss Cochranton pageant added a junior Miss competition. In the 1980s, the Cochranton Borough celebrated its 125th anniversary. The fair joined the gala by a week-long festival starting in June 29th, and concluded in July 5th. Along with the usual programs, the event included historical events, special programs, and featured a 2.5-hour parade on Saturday that showcased 175 antique and vintage automobiles, as well as bands and floats. The festivities concluded with an hour-long fireworks display. In 1984, the fair returned to August with a 4-day schedule. A new stage facility had been constructed at that time. A full schedule of evening entertainment filled the program with music ranging from big band to country western. The decade ended with the fair expanding to a 6-day event and moving its popular parade to Wednesday evening in 1989. The 90s passed, and there were not a lot of changes made in the structure of the fair. The usual maintenance, the upkeep, the fair continued. Local churches and businesses were involved and continued with the legacy of the fair. In 2002, a separate parade committee was formed. Due to the size of the popular parade, it had become difficult to plan the fair and the parade at the same time. From 2010 to 2025, the Fair Board committed to renovate the infrastructure of the fairgrounds. A new office was built, the stage area was refurbished, churches and organizations improved their structures to a more modern and permanent buildings. The tractor pull moved from the street to a created track by the horse ring. The 4-H ice cream trailer and the cow chip bingo became a regular feature. Bleachers were donated from Crawford Central to upgrade the stage area. A junior fair board was created. A horse pavilion was donated by JMG Energy and Excavating in memory of the owner's uncle, Jake Dieter. In the past few years, the speaker system of the fairgrounds has been updated and where possible, electric placed underground. The Fair Board has updated its policies and bylaws to reflect the need for relevant rules for fair safety. At this time, I would like to recognize any Fair Board members, and that would be officers or otherwise, just members. At this time, if you would just stand for me, if you can stand, or raise your hand if you don't want to stand. And I got my hand up. Please stay standing for a moment. You're not going to get away that easy. You just thought you were. Anyway, we've been sitting for a little bit. I would be remiss to even venture how many volunteer hours these people have given towards the fair on any given year. And we want to thank you as a community. But you know what? I need everybody to stand. Yeah, it's time to stand. Let's stand. Without you, we have no fair. So it's not just the board, it's all of you as well. And anyone who is out in the community, we thank you for coming and being part of the Cochranton Fair, and we appreciate all that you do. You can stretch and sit down. As we look ahead to the Cochranton Community Fair's 100th anniversary, which is in 2028, we are reminded that this fair is more than an annual event. It takes a long time to plan the fair. We start, when the fair is over, we take a month off, and then we start again. So it's an all year round affair for all of us who are on the board and who come to the fair meetings, which are open to everyone. So it's always the first Wednesday of the month, except for September, which we don't have a meeting, and Christmas, we don't do December. It is a cherished tradition that connects generations. It celebrates our agricultural roots and reflects the heart of the community. The fair also brings business and revenue and visitors to our town each year. We are currently in the midst of a campaign to build a new home show building. Investing in a new home show building means investing in the future of the fair itself, ensuring that it continues to grow and thrive for the next 100 years and beyond. I hope that you will join us this year, August 3rd through 9th, to celebrate what makes Cochranton so special and to be part of the legacy that we are all building together. I have up front here some papers that you might want to look at. There is a list of all of the, I'm standing in front of that, I'm sorry. There is actually a list of all the past presidents of the Cochranton Fair up to this year. It's as current as I could get it. There's also a list of all of the Miss Cochranton winners, queens. There's also some pictures, and the most important and most enjoying thing, I'm sorry. This fellow right there is actually an enlarged poster from the fair of 1896. It's worth looking at, and read the small print because it'll make you grin. You won't believe what was offered at that fair at that time. And it actually talks about the train excursions, which makes me grin every time to think that somebody would come, especially to Cochranton, for something, okay, for the fair. But it was a big thing at that time. So I want to thank you for your time this evening, and have a good evening. And please, I want to see all of you at the fair this year.
John?
I love it.